बन्धनान् मृत्युर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Trambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardhanam urvarukam bandhanan mृत्युर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya.
Sahana vavatu Sahana bhunaktu Sahaviryam karavahai Tejasvi navadhitamastu Ma vidvishavahai. Om Shant Shant Shanti. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityormamrutangamaya. Om Shant Shant Shanti. Good morning. There is a proverb in English, early bird catches the worm. Those who rise before sunrise will rise in life. So you are all getting up before sunrise. So you are all, destined to achieve great success in life. At least one enemy you could conquer, that is sloth, is laziness, inertia. బద్ధకాన్ని జయించారు. లేకపోతే ఇక్కడ 7:30కి రావాలంటే అంత తేలిక కాదు కదా. Yeah, congratulations on that. So please see page number 27. The first quote in the page. If a man with an ideal makes 1,000 mistakes, I'm sure that the man without an ideal makes 50,000. Therefore, it is better to have an ideal. ఒక ఆదర్శం అన్న వ్యక్తి 1000 తప్పులు చేస్తే ఈ ఆదర్శం లేని వ్యక్తి 50,000 తప్పులు చేస్తాడు. So it's better to have an ideal in life. See that the ideal is a great ideal. That is the secret of success. So to achieve that great ideal, you will have to invest all your time and energy. So what is life? It's just certain amount of time and certain quantity of energy, right? Life is energy and time. This piece of life is not going to be here forever. We all know that. శాశ్వతంగా ఉండదు కదా ఇక్కడ శరీరం మనసు. Brief period of time we exist here. And then certain energy. The energy that you have now in youth, you will not have the same element of energy after 50 or 60, right? It just fades. So this is the time in life How productively you use your time and energy, and that depends how great your life will become. So that's why Swami is saying when death is certain, have an ideal to die for and see that that ideal is a great ideal. For example, Mahatma Gandhi, he had shaken up two ideals for life, non-violence and truthfulness. That's all. Okay. He dedicated his life to practice these two ideals. Day and night, he thought about only these two ideals, nothing else. Never allowed himself to get distracted with anything else. He made these two ideals his life and just see what kind of character excellence had come, how powerful he became, how great he became. So it's ideas that define an individual. Vivekananda also had an ideal. What was his ideal in life? He wanted to see God. He wanted to know God. Why? Because there is suffering in the world. So much of pain, so much of suffering. Who has created the world? We all have the same answer. God has created the world. Why God has created such a defective world, such an imperfect world, such a world full of suffering? Okay, he has not done a perfect job. Right? So that was the thought as a young man of your age. He had this thought in mind. Does God really exist? Has anybody seen God? He would ask everybody the same question. If somebody was speaking about God, he would go to him and ask, have you seen God, sir? You're talking about God. Can you show me God? Nobody could give a satisfactory answer to him. First, he went to Rabindranath Tagore's father, Devendranath Tagore. He was a spiritual preacher of the times, he used to speak on spiritual matters. He was a very good orator. Vivekananda went to him and asked him, sir, you're talking about God. Have you seen God? He said, no, no. He didn't give a direct reply. He said to Vivekananda, your eyes are very bright. They are yogic eyes, he said. So that is not answer to my question. Have you seen God? You're talking about God, he would say. So ultimately, he came to Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. His cousin Ramachandra Datta, he said, if you're so interested to know about God, there is one person who always talks about God. Probably he might be a realized soul. So you go to him, that Ramakrishna Paramahamsa who stays in Dakshineshwar. That's how actually Vivekananda came to Sri Ramakrishna. What was his ideal in life? He wanted to see God. Why he wanted to see God? Because there is suffering in the world. So we have not done the world. We have not created the world. Who has created the world? God has created the world. So why he has done a defective job? He wanted to ask God. Okay. So that's the reason he needed God. He had this as the ideal in life and he dedicated his life for that. And just see, though lived for 39 years, the impact of the person, okay, the clarity and the energy and the intelligence. I mean, what radiated through him. 39 years only lived. Swamiji just said that I have given message for 1500 years. Okay? He wanted to leave the world quickly because he could not see the suffering in the world. He could not bear to see the suffering in the world. Why? Because he would identify with the suffering of all the people. You just imagine, because his heart has expanded, to such an extent that he would identify with the suffering of every individual. Okay? This way he could not live in this world. He wanted to quit the world quickly because just he doesn't want to see this much of suffering. He tried his best to alleviate the suffering of the people as best as he could by giving knowledge, by disseminating great ideas. So there is suffering in the world. The root cause of suffering is ignorance. Remove that ignorance and you will overcome the suffering. You will attain the highest state of bliss or ananda. పరమానందాన్ని పొందడానికి మార్గం ఉంది. ఆ మార్గం ఏంటంటే జ్ఞానం. అజ్ఞానాన్ని వదిలిపెట్టండి. వాట్ దిస్ దట్ జ్ఞాన, యూ రీడ్ హ్యూమన్, యూ అండర్స్టాండ్. బట్ నాట్ ఎవ్రీబడి ఇస్ ఇన్ ఎ పొజిషన్, నాట్ ఎవ్రీబడి ఇస్ ఇన్ kind of right kind of mindset to understand and to grasp that knowledge, because we have other ambitions, other goals, other objectives. You would say that this is all Maya, this is all a trap. It is only to entangle us, to bind us, to this world. Our philosophers have all said the same language. From Krishna onwards, all prophets, all messengers of God have used the same language. They said this is Satan, this is temptation, this is Mara, okay, this is a trap, this is Maya. You try to come out of this through knowledge. So he had that ideal. Just you too try to have your own ideal. Now, I will not define ideals for you. You have to use your own intellect, your own intelligence, and then form an ideal. Choose an ideal, and then work towards that ideal. In the process, you will be able to make good use of your time and energies. That's how actually greatness will happen through every individual. But if you don't have a great ideal in life, that means you're simply groping in the dark. చీకట్లో తడుముకుంటున్నట్లు అవుతుంది. జీవితం అంతా అవుతుంది, అట్లనే అవుతుంది. So better to have an ideal. So have an ideal for yourself. I don't want to give an ideal for you. You just use your intelligence, your brains, and make your ideal. Choose your ideal. This is my ideal in life. I will dedicate. I will commit myself to this ideal. That's all. Something great will happen out of you. Okay? Otherwise, all time will get a waste. Even to achieve higher degree of focus, concentration, it is important to have an ideal. Individuals who don't have an ideal, simply they will ideal away their time. చూస్తూ చూస్తుండగానే కాలం గడిచిపోతుంది, ఏం సాధించామంటే ఏం సాధించలేదు వెనక్కి చూసుకుంటే, బికాస్ దే నెవర్ సెట్ an ideal before themselves. So that's why it's important to have an ideal. That's why Swami says, when death is certain, have an ideal to die for. మరణం అనివార్యమైనప్పుడు ఒక ఆదర్శం కోసం జీవించు, ఆదర్శం కోసం బ్రతుకు అంటారు ఆయన. సో ఆదర్శం ఏంటో మీరు నిర్ణయించుకోండి. దట్ ఐ విల్ నాట్ డిసైడ్ ఫర్ యూ. Use your brains, use your intelligence. This is my ideal in life. So great things will happen through you. Thank you. All the best. May God bless you.